galaxy near you. This is Brothers in Booze. And here are your hosts, Greg Washington and Doug Ziegler.
Hey, Doug, how are you?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Good. What do you think of our well, that guy was crazy, but what do you think of our new we need add a little music to it, but I'm liking that a lot actually.
Me too. And that guy was that might have been the loudest I heard anybody cheer for a magician ever. So
Yes.
they were like going crazy. It was awesome.
That was pretty cool. Absolutely. So I am hello, what's up, Manny? How you doing? I am having a classic Wisconsin beer because Doug suggested it early in pre-production. Spotted Cow. This is my last Spotted Cow that I had.
What?
It's the last one I've had. I've had them for I don't know how long. It is what it is. It's light, great, wonderful, fan favorite. Nothing Wisconsin zone. Nothing too fancy, and it's not going to blow you away.
Yeah, apparently though, if you take it anywhere, people do get blown away. They love that beer wherever you go.
Yeah,
I guess it's scarcity. I think scarcity mindset on that probably. So
yeah, and again, it's drinkable. It's so fucking drinkable.
Yeah, well, that helps. Nice and crushable then. So
right.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to start the show with a typical beer for me, a sour beer. Yeah.
It's not a ghost.
No, not a ghost. Sour Me from, going to try to get this in here, from Duclaw, which is pomegranate, passion fruit, and plum.
Duclaw.
Yeah. Baltimore, baby.
Let's go downtown beer town. Okay,
Manny. How many beers have you had already?
Right.
Hey, we're not judging here either.
No.
So, look at that. I was expecting to be more purple just because of I guess because all the flavors had peas in them. I guess I expected purple as a color. Whatever. Smells good. It smells actually got a nice little tart nose to it. This many. Okay.
Okay.
Man, that is really, really, really good. Nice and tart. I don't like them super sour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out the flavors out of them. Like plum to me is usually very sweet. I get the pomegranate and passion fruit. I don't think has a whole ton of flavor, but it's really good. It's really, for some reason, the flavor all works together. Really good job. Cheers.
0 beers, but on a sugar high from Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That is most likely.
Sounds about right. Right. Mm-hmm. Sounds about right. So before we bring on our guests, I would like to talk about real quick something I got going on. It's alluded to in my background. Is something we got going on actually, Doug. Is
our crew? Yes.
Yes, we have. I'm starting a new live stream here, monthly live stream starting next month during February on the second Wednesday of every month. We are starting a live stream called Lag, Libations, and Lost Saves. This will be a gaming only stream, and Doug will be featured in the first stream talking about his favorite game in the whole wide world.
Mm-hmm.
Doug, what's that?
Yeah. I'm going to be discussing the new Halo. Halo Infinite and how it plays and the backstory to how it compares to other Halos. And, I've played all of the Halo games. I have a very deep love for that series with the very notable exception of Halo Wars, which you and our buddies all laugh at because they all joke about that. But
yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about that because, God, I love that franchise.
Yes. So next, you'll be hearing more about it. I'll be plugging it as we move along here. But this is one that got lost when during my hospital stay. We were really close to putting it out there before, and now I've regathered the troops here. So you're going to be involved. I talked to our Eddie today. He's going to be involved. Our friends from Fan Dads. Hopefully, I believe we're going to be involved. What's up, Victor? Speaking of,
yep.
or Gil, not
Could
sure who's hiding behind that fandads.com there, but it's one of those two. Our friend Kinky Suds is involved.
Yes.
Our friend Black Beard Nerd is involved now. I believe Jay, your podcast partner, is involved. We got the boys from Superfragicalitaristic HBLadocious podcast.
Go. You forget the go at the end. I think the go is what makes it.
Supercalifragilistic HBLadocious Go podcast. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be roundtable news, all kinds of great stuff. Gonna be fantastic.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be fun.
I'm looking forward to that. Hey,
welcome,
Afro Beard Chick. Yes, and Afro Beard Chick's another lady that I'm hoping to collab with really soon here. On a project. We haven't really done much recently. It got lost in the hospital thing again, Doug. You know what? I was explaining to Art Eddie today about how, like, I don't know how you operate, but I operate a lot in my head. And when the hospital, I had all these things in my head, whether it be guests, what we're trying to do here, the gaming stream, the project with Afro Beard Chick. And I literally not forgot, but like it just all flushed. It like flushed. And I was talking to Art today about how I had to like recalibrate and get everything in there. But now I started taking really good notes, and I have almost everything documented about our gaming stream. It's documented, and I share it with everybody so people can go in and see it, like, you know, one of those Google Docs.
Yeah.
And it's all there, so it's documented. So like, it's not just on me; it's at least on paper now. Yes, and Afro Beard Chick is my safe word. Manny says. Fan Dead says Chicago represent. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I don't know if I can agree with that.
Well, every great story needs a protagonist and an antagonist. So there you go.
Right. But I'm sure porters are what black people drink. But at least I don't know. Not. We're gonna bring that in there. So speaking of black people, might as well bring on our guests.
Yeah. Let's do that.
He's a black person. Yeah. No, he's an award-winning copywriter. Doug, so I know you got questions for this man. Mm-hmm. We found him on Twitter. I found him on Twitter, followed him about when the pandemic started. He had some really cool things to say, catchy things to say. And we're just going to Team Smoke Beers. Yes. Jerry, yes.
That's a good one.
Yes, that is a good one. Real quick. It's great that Art fits you in and call between Hall of Fame athletes and hip-hop legends. I mean, this Art, you're going to be the art of fatherhood is a fantastic podcast. I don't have the link here. Google it. Yeah. This guy, talking to him today, I'm like, whoa.
How did you get DMC from Run DMC? That made me fall out of my chair. I was like, that was a great get, man.
Right. And now he's got Dan Patrick, and he's got Hall of Fame athletes. I mean, he's just talking to everybody about fatherhood. I call him the Fatherhood Podcast Czar. I mean, he spoke to almost every father that is known, famous. It's just great. And he says he has some more in the pipeline that are even going to like blow us away. Fantastic. It's just great. So we're gonna bring on Jay here real quick. Jay is again, like I said, award-winning copywriter. He used to write for October magazine. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I believe it's mostly online, but we'll get into that. A beer magazine. He's written for wine. He's written about food. So we're gonna bring him on here right now. What's up, Jay? How you?
Hello.
What's going on?
What's up? What's in the glass?
It's a local Pilsner from Nod Hill called Giddy Up. It's a dry hop.
Nod Hill.
Okay.
Pilsner.
Okay.
I can get some Nod Hill here. I've had a few there, but I've never had that one. Yeah. So what is that? What do you think of that one? That's a good one?
I like it. It's a real nice, easy drinker because I thought I'd start off slow tonight before I go fast.
Oh. All right.
Start light.
So Jay, tell us a little bit about you, because at this point, even Doug and I are going to learn something.
About me. My name is Jay. As you said, I'm a black.
I'm a black.
I live in Connecticut. I'm a freelance writer freelance writer. I also work at a brewery, Knot Hill, which I just showed you. Plug.
Yes.
What else? Yeah, I used to be a copywriter. I worked for a financial services company for like a decade, writing about bank accounts and other pretty boring stuff, but I was okay at it. And I kind of stumbled into beer or I was drinking beer, recreationally, not getting paid for it as an amateur. And
craft beer, or just did you start with big beer or craft beer? Or?
No, when I first started drinking, I was like a cocktail guy or a mixed drink guy, whatever. I'd say mixed drink. I wouldn't say these were cocktails. That implies skill. But I got into beer. Like had a friend who was a home brewer. And he made like a Hoegaarden clone, or Hoegaarden if you say it correctly, if you don't want to be vulgar. And I was like, oh, this is really good, because I always thought beer was gross because I only had Budweiser and stuff like that. So I got into really into Belgian beers, then it went into stouts, and then it just became like a hobby. And then did some home brewing here and there, and then after I stopped working for that financial services company, I pitched an article on Italian beer because my girlfriend at the time, now ex-girlfriend, but now also wife, was like, the joke is that I call her my ex-girlfriend, even though we are married. So
I was like, wow, we're getting good already, real fast.
It's a very bad joke. It's not even a bad joke. It's a very good joke, but it's a repeating joke. So if you see me on Twitter tweeting about ex-girlfriends, like, oh, I can't believe my ex-girlfriend is so successful, whatever. I'm really talking about my wife. So she was like, she's like, do you know about Italian beer? I was like, oh, there's this, that, blah, blah, blah. As a beer geek, you don't know how to shut up. You have to let me tell you everything you know about it. It's just like, all right, relax, chief. So she's like, do you think you could write me a pitch on whatever, a little brief synopsis on Italian beer? And I was like, sure. So I wrote it up, and then she was like, yeah, this is good. You want to write it? I was like, sure. So that kind of began the beer writing career for whatever that's. Yeah, so I did that for a bit. Did some freelance copywriting on the side, and is that enough? Do you need to know more? I don't.
No. Hey,
that's all good. Being interviewed. I don't know when to shut up.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Manny loved when you played for the Bulls. So,
Jay Williams.
Jay Williams.
You're not the guy that wrecked his motorcycle and ruined his basketball career, right?
No, that guy if I could have played basketball professionally, I would have picked that way over writing easily any day. I'd rather be Jay Williams. I'd rather be white Jason Williams. I'd rather be Jason Williams with the Y who killed his chauffeur. I'll be any of those Jason Williams.
Right. Well, that's so that's cool, because again, somehow you were able to turn a passion and thing that you liked into, at least for a while here, duckies, money.
Yeah.
And so that must have been fun.
Yeah, you're like, wow, I was going to do this. I was going to drink this anyway for free, and here I am.
Right. Something I haven't been able to do yet, but we're working on that. Doug, you got any writing questions for him before we really get into the silly ass stupid shit?
Yeah, I think it's pretty freaking awesome that you're able to do that, because as Greg said, I've never been able to do that, and I have written a few things, but never about beer. And
we're jealous. We're jealous.
Jealous is a good word.
Yeah.
What have you written?
All right, now Greg will tell you I'm good at that, and I will tell you that I suck at it. But
I say the same thing about myself, so it's cool. I get it.
Yeah.
And you really are a writer.
Yeah, well, it's
right.
I wrote a lot of dad blog stuff.
Okay.
and I wrote something that I had to read. They picked it to read to open the conference. They had a dad blogger conference, and I had to read it to open the conference. And
wow.
that was awesome and nerve wracking and super surreal because Jerry Rice like shook my hand after it because he was coming up on the stage after me. So that's. I wish there were more Ronnie Lott. Sorry, did I say? Who did I say?
Jerry Rice.
Ronnie Lott. Hey, I had to write team. It was a 49ers.
Right. I'm just making sure everybody knows because.
Are you sure it wasn't Joe
Ronnie
Montana?
Lott? Yeah. With that?
Are you sure it wasn't Joe Montana?
No. I think I would get that one.
I don't know.
But yeah.
Right. It was a black dude, so we got it.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, I wrote some of that stuff, and that did fairly well. And when my kids got older, I kind of stopped doing that because you can't really write about them when they're teens because then you have to ask permission and consent and all that stuff. So
what Doug doesn't talk about though, Jay, is that that speech also got him right here on Fridays because that speech put Doug on my radar, and then we met hours after that. And then months after that is when I approached Doug about doing this because I needed someone to come on and be my alter ego or not alter ego, my I don't even know if antithesis. Y'all gonna kill me because y'all writers and I'm bad.
Or like a partner,
It's not partner, right? Someone to balance. But Doug did not know a lot about beer back then, and I knew much more than he did, and he's more of a Scotch guy, so I thought it would weigh out because I didn't just want two people who knew about beer just like talking over. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, like talking over people and right. So Doug was a really great counterbalance to my beer nerdiness because, like you say, beer nerds want to just talk about beer, and we just like people. You see their eyes glaze over, and we just still keep going, and we don't even stop. We have no like sense of like balance or anything. Right. So Doug would like slow me down and be like, look, I don't know anything about this. So Greg, you got to help me out. So yeah, but Scotch, yes, absolutely. But yeah, so that's the Doug's I think Doug's a great writer. I enjoy his writing a lot. But yeah, I don't know where I was gonna go with that, but Doug, was there a question in there?
No, I was just making a remark that I'm very jealous of you being able to make money off of writing about beer. So
you can do it too, Doug. I believe in you.
Yeah.
Well,
and then Doug too became a beer nerd.
Yeah, right. I didn't hold up my end of the bargain of like reviewing Scotch, which I should. But the problem is there's only so much Scotch, and there's like unlimited kinds of beer you can try. So
true.
Oh, look, we have another fan there, Doug.
Oh, Lauren.
Yes.
Thank you,
No
Lauren.
joke, man. No joke. So, Jay, so you've how has your pandemic life been? How's that reflected in your work and your beer drinking? And we all know it sucks. We all know. And we all know it kind of threw a big curve, but what's your perspective on all this?
It sucks, as we all said and previously stated. I don't know. I think it was like for a while, I kind of hit like a writer's block, and I was just like, oh, like, does any of this matter? Because it's just beer at the end. But like, I'm slowly trying to like work my way back into it. Drinking habits, I drink less now. And I didn't even like go super hard in the pandemic. I was just like, I started working my way through my cellar. I was like, all right, 2015s, you're out of here, baby. Let's run through you guys. I still have some left because it's like my wife will have a sip and be like, okay, that was nice. Thank you for sharing. And then it's like, all right, there's 32 more ounces to go on my own. But at this point, it's just like, just gotta power through it. But
Yeah.
Frankly,
so you work at a brewery?
Yeah, I work at a brewery. I work in the sales department, so I do deliveries. I do little brand ambassadoring, like, oh, hey, how's it going? Hey, blah, 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 from this brewery. Hey, boop, boop, stuff like that. Right. And so, yeah, it's cool. Hopefully I'm hoping to branch out other stuff there, too, and, put some of the old writing skills to work for the brewery.
Nice.
Right. I would think, oh, man, I don't know how. We talked to a couple writers here over the past year, and I just don't. I don't know. Remember we talked about Anthe. Remember we talked to Anthe, Doug. She spoke about how she got a lot of her inspiration by literally walking around her town and getting away from the family. So she would drop her kid off. Her husband would be working, and then she would just start walking, and then that's where she got her inspiration. And I just feel that there's I guess it could come in different ways. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but I feel that pandemic has hurt writers in this aspect where it just really shook y'all's routine. Whatever that was, it just shook it. And it's almost like shaking a tree, and you almost have to wait for the tree to stop before you, or I don't know if that's you, but that's kind of the vibe that I got from some of the writers that we've talked to, Doug, where it's they've been jolted out of their system. I don't know, Jay, if you can relate to that or not.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's that. I guess I just kind of struggle with my significance in the universe versus it's I'm gonna write about beer, but holy shit, a lot of people are dying, and in the end, what does it all really mean? But
right.
I don't know.
Right.
I'm also I gotta snap out of my rut because I was in a rut, and my wife was like, "Why don't you do a little project?" And I was like, "Yeah, maybe." So then I started talking to people. They're like, "Hey, if I put together a beer zine, do you want to contribute? I can't pay you because
Right.
it doesn't make any money." So that's a thing I'm trying to work on now. Over the last couple of weeks, I tried to start reaching out to people and framing out what I want it to be, and we'll see what happens. But it's a fun project to work on.
Cool. We need you to come back and talk about it when it's ready.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I'll have to do promo so people buy it, so I don't die poor.
Right. Right. Doug, any follow up here before I show a silly ass video?
I have to agree with the whole for a while it's that whole existential thing. It's I'm writing this. Does anybody really we're all going through this big thing? But the thing is I think people do need to read that stuff. They need to kind of have a little bit of an escapism thing, to have not everything be so heavy and just hammering over the head all the time with all the news. Now that doesn't mean you don't pay attention to it. Just sometimes we all kind of need to take a breath, just get the fuck away from that stuff. So yeah, I do think there's a lot of importance in art and writing and being able to put your stuff out in the world. I think that matters, and I'm glad you're doing it, Jay.
Thanks.
Man, I never really thought about it that way. Wow, look at that. And then,
deep thoughts with Doug.
Yeah.
and another thing I never really thought of is going to a city council meeting and doing something like this.
You gonna get corona from Mona. Don't vaccinate. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. You gotta vaccinate in the Lone Star State. Vaccination is so great. Vaccinate me all day long. Vaccinate your daddy and mom. Vaccinate my body. Vaccinate me at the party. A vaccine dream. I love the vaccine all day long. I want to vaccinate your mom. I want to stick it deep in your arm. Oh my, where are you? I want to vaccinate you, but you can't hear my song. Vaccinate me in my thong. Vaccination, right or wrong. Dr. Fauci, give me that ouchie. I want it in my body. Vaccinate me too. Go to the party. Omar is back. Vaccinate me, white or black. Vaccinate you. Vaccinate who? Vaccinate you all day long. Vaccinate your dad and mom. Vaccinate me in my thong. Vaccinate the mayor. I am a vaccination player. What can I say? I'm the real Ron Sayer. Prime time, 99. On the ground all the time. I blow your mind. I spit the rhyme. I commit the crime. I'm always on time because I'm 99. I shine and I grind and shine and I blow your mind. One more time. Vaccinate your mind. Vaccinate your body. Vaccinate your life. Leave your vaccination party. I love y'all. Peace. God bless. Follow my Instagram. IG.
Your time is up.
Primetime Stein.
Thank you.
I'm not much of an R&B guy, but I'll tell you, that was pretty good.
But he's an anti-vaxxer, though. Or was he?
No,
was
I think he was telling people to get vaccinated.
I felt
Right.
so to me.
Right. Well, I don't know. The label on Reddit said that he's an anti-vaxxer, so I was like, but that's a pro-vax message.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Had there
People are
any
for
bit?
likes.
Yeah, had there ever been a rapper that's gotten winded while they're doing their rap? Because that guy sounded like he.
Right. It sounded like he had the COVID. I don't know.
As someone who sometimes freestyle raps in the shower and when I'm alone, I'm not going to say, you will run out of breath, especially if you're not an actual professional rapper. It happens.
Right. I couldn't tell if he was sarcastic in it or not. GHC says he was a doctor promoting vaccines.
I want to say that maybe there's a better way to get your message out.
I don't know. It got played here.
Oh,
it
yes.
caught my attention, but I mean, I'm not hard to catch attention, obviously, Doug. But it caught mine, though. I was like, this is fucking entertaining. I don't even care if he was anti-vax or not. I don't care if he was. Yeah, he was entertaining. I had fun with that, Doug. I thought it was pretty good.
You're playing a little fast and loose with pretty good, but okay, we'll say that it was adequate.
Got a laugh.
Good laughs. Right. I'll give you that. It was definitely funny.
And how long did it take for him to prepare that?
Not long.
Right.
I think he actually did that in front of the mirror for like 3 or 4 hours, just trying to get it right, and that's how it came out. And
yeah. So real quick, Doug, Jay here was a food writer or is a food writer or wrote about food, and that's another. I guess it's on the same line as beer, where like it's very opinionated, and I guess people can assail you for your views. Did you have a lot of that, Jay? Did you have a lot of like trolls or people saying, "Yeah, man, no"?
I wrote about food a couple of times. I did get some Instagram hate for some art, not hate, some like articles where people were like, well, doesn't this just mean this? I'm like, I don't know. It was in the article. I was like, if you read the article, that'll answer your question. Thanks for listening. And then, one time I wrote about pastry stouts, and let's just say a senior member of the beer community doesn't like pastry stouts. It was like, they're trash, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, thanks for reading.
Right. Right. So people like it's an area where people's opinions sometimes to them come off as facts, and then you know what I mean. Like right. Like Doug and I argue about not argue, but we disagree sometimes on gozas. Doug loves them. I think that they can be too salty, and I don't know when we had that. I don't know if you were in the crap here when we had that goza rise when they were just everywhere. I think it was like the summer of 1999, Doug. It was before the pandemic. But
how about 2019? Maybe not 1999. That might have been back a little far.
Are we talking about all the fruity ones or like the straight up just?
Yeah,
they had like a lot of fruited gozas. They had a lot of those.
Yeah. And there were just a lot of them out there, kind of like IPAs. And when you get a lot of, when you get a flood of something, they can't all be good, and a lot of them are bad. And that's when we went through, 2019. Sorry, Doug. Shortly before the pandemic, not decades before the pandemic, but it was the rise of goes, and I don't know. Everybody generally agreed with Doug Murray, and they agree with me, and they thought I was whining about salty beers, but they just came off as too salty, and that's just what I thought. But so. Leads me to talk about the things that you wanted to bring up, and one of them is something I knew nothing about. And Doug, I don't even know if you know anything about this, but we're about to talk about it. New Haven style pizza. So
Number one.
what? And Okay, what in the hell is this, and why should I care? It looks like a damn Neapolitan. It looks like, but it looks burnt though. So what's going on? Where are we at with this, Jay?
It's a work of art. It's proof that there is a higher power. It's like a Neapolitan. It's from like the same whatever family tree.
Right? Okay.
So it's like the crust can be charred because it's like a coal fired oven kind of thing for most of it. And so different places will like you can order a char amount on it. Like you can say like well done or whatever. The crust is crispy yet chewy at the same time.
Okay.
Thin.
What differentiates you from Neapolitan, though?
I believe it's the way they blend. I think how they distribute the cheese. I think it's the oven and the fire oven is really
okay
difference maker.
Yeah.
Also, there's a rumor that the water in New Haven is what gives the crust that thing. I don't know if that's ever been proven by scientists, but
okay, but it's something you have to taste in order to experience the difference. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Chicago?
Yeah.
Do you know Peace Brewery and Pizzeria? They make New Haven style pizza. They're also a brew pub, and they make pizza, and it's New Haven style. It's great.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything mean about Chicago pizza. I'm just going to say, if you want the best pizza in Chicago, go there.
Doug will.
Yeah, I have opinions on that, but yes.
The couch cushion pizza? Is that what you're talking about, Doug?
Chicago pizza, yes.
It's a couch cushion.
Yeah,
a couch cushion.
It is. It's like all filler, and it's a pie. It's not.
Some call it a casserole. Some call it lasagna.
Yeah, y'all wrong. That shit's good. And me and the youngest in the house go back and forth on this one because he does not like it, and I fucking love that shit.
I think it's delicious. I just don't think it should be called pizza.
I think it's fine. I've never had a good one, so I shouldn't talk, but I will because this is what this is for. So,
yep.
So this picture here, like when I was taken aback when I you Google it and this comes up on Google. This is a Google screenshot little thing. What took me aback was that like half of them look like they have burnt edges. Now I will accept burnt edges on a pizza if it's coal fired. Other than that, no. That's where I'm at with that, Doug. I don't want any of your burnt fucking pizza unless it's coal fired because that's part of the whole presentation and you're going to have some little burnt edges. Am I wrong, Jay, or where am I at with that?
No, you're right. That's a good opinion.
Okay. So, and that's kind of where the New Haven, that's part of the New Haven style is that like some of the edges are going to be a little bit either quote burnt or well done or crunchy where okay, so that's that char and that like grill part is part of the whole experience is what you're saying.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, because if you give me a Neapolitan with burnt edges like that, I'm sending that shit back.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, if you're somewhere where you can't get New Haven pizza, you're already screwed, so you just got to make the best of it.
Right.
So you were saying that you hear that it's the water that probably makes the crust and the bread make it in a specific way. That kind of makes sense because, like, if you think about beer, there's certain regions that they can only make like Pilsners is supposed to be one section of I'm gonna butcher not Germany, but Czechoslovakia or something like that. And there's a region that is named after that because of the water, because the waters has different chemical content. So I wonder if maybe that does that something. Like I can't imagine a crust being soft on the inside and being like that thin. It's not really like like bread where it's like you can have that crust and be. But how's it soft and then like really crusty when it's that thin? I'm interested and baffled by that at the same time.
Yeah, you should come on down. Well, I'll take you to a good pizza place if you're ever in Connecticut, the southern half.
Yes.
Either.
Well, I've always wanted to be in the audience for Mari, so I'm gonna take you up. I'm gonna take you up on that. Mari's getting old, man. He's not gonna be around soon, Doug, or not gonna be doing that show. This man's in his 80s doing that show, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's like 20 minutes from me, kind of. The studio.
Oh my goodness, no way. So crispy with a touch of char got you, but what's with the varying levels of cheese on the pizza? It looks like a tomato pie with a sprinkle of cheese dust.
Ooh,
yeah, that one I think was like they do every summer. They do like one of the pizza places does like a fresh tomato pie thing. So I think that one is the fresh tomato pie, the bottom right one. That just looks like they just grated Romano or Parma on it.
Right. So we didn't even talk about it, but we got plenty of conversation about Chicago deep dish. Manny will fight you Royal Rumble style if you badmouth deep dish.
All right, I'll grab my location.
I think he's talking about Doug more than you. I don't think you said anything, or maybe you did say something bad and I missed it.
I call it a transcription, but yes.
Sounds like it's cooked hot and fast, so it gets burnt, but still soft.
That's accurate. Yeah.
So deep dish folks, Texans need to know: is there a difference between Detroit and Chicago? Absolutely.
Yes.
Detroit style pizza. I'll start. In my opinion, is sorry, Manny, vastly superior. Detroit style is it's square, and it has more of like a fluffy, like Jay's talking about. Like it's not as heavy as Chicago. Chicago style pizza is like 20 pounds. Detroit style pizza is like 10. Like in comparison, it's really, really light, and it has those burnt fucking edges that are just amazing. Like Chicago style shouldn't have any burnt edges. Detroit style has those like burnt, crispy cheese edges, Doug. That like, you know how like when the cheese burns and then you rip it off and it's like solid and it's like crunches in your mouth. Detroit style, and then Detroit style is close because again, I think it's isn't it crust, cheese, and then there's sauce on top of the cheese. So they're close, but Detroit style is far superior in my opinion. Jay?
I've never had proper Detroit style pizza. However, I live the town I live in, city I live in, does not have has like okay pizza. Like it's just okay. You know. So during the pandemic, I kind of got tired of getting just okay pizza, so I got into making Detroit style pizza, just because it's easy enough to do in a roasting pan, and I really like it. And so it's like it's cheaper, it's easier, and it's better than most of the local pizza, in my opinion. So I'm a fan of Detroit style. It has its place. If I can make it, and I'm not like a baking expert, you know.
Right. Oh, here it is. What you got, Doug?
I have never had Detroit style pizza either. And what's weird is the company I work for, they're headquartered out of Auburn Hills, which is right outside of Detroit. So and I've been there multiple times. You would think I would know
that's my recipe.
What that tastes like. The King Arthur's. King Arthur, using King Arthur's like flour. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see like the sauce is on top of the pizza, and then just like Chicago, like they hide the ingredient. Like there's probably pepperoni in this one, but they hide it under the cheese or they hide it under the sauce, and it's square. It's okay. It's like Sicilian, but Sicilian is more, in my opinion, like cardboardy, less sauce, cheese on the top. I used to love Sicilian when I was.
Doesn't have. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. It doesn't have crispy edges.
No, it doesn't really. I don't know. Sicilian, I used to love when I was a kid, and then I like grew up and I was like, nah, this shit's kind of like, it's good. But it's not. Detroit style is fantastic, man. I really believe it is. I haven't had it. I didn't have it until I came out to Midwest, and then I saw it here. But yeah, Manny's not a fan. Detroit sucks, just like the city. Now, so is Detroit tavern style? I'm not sure what
tavern style is. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
Yep. Go. Absolutely.
Tavern style is the so
Mhm.
that's so if you ask people from Chicago, they say tavern style is the real Chicago pizza, which is fine, whatever. And it's a perfectly fine pizza, but it's not better than New Haven. Anyway, it's like a very thin crust, and it's cut into like squares and triangles. So they like go this way and then they cut this way, you know, so you get the little like triangle ends.
Oh, right. Lawrence says King Arthur has legit recipes. I seriously just pulled that up off random, but now it's on my tabs, my 400 tabs that I have open. We don't even need to go there. The people have a problem with all these tabs, Jay. I don't understand, but we can talk about that. Well, yes, absolutely. But when you do a live stream every week, personal things like that come out, and then people find out about it, and then Doug makes fun of me for it and all that, and rolls his eyes. But anyway, I've never checked out King Arthur, so I'm gonna keep that up. Jeff, Greg and the family need to make pizza on the Kamado. We have once or twice, fantastic pretzels on there too. Manny says he can make meth cheap too. It doesn't make it good.
So do it.
So do it. Come on, Manny White.
Thanks for the education. Thanks for telling us about this. I knew nothing about it, and I guess it's when you say New Haven style, I guess it doesn't get outside of that area much.
No, I mean there's Peace in Chicago. That's probably like the biggest place outside of New Haven. And I think when Surly had a pizza place before, I don't know, whatever went down there. I think they shut down their tap room or whatever. But when that was up and running, they did have they were making New Haven style pizza there.
Oh,
so
man, I used to
sprinkling.
Yeah. So Doug, do you have a second beer? And Jay, do you have one?
I'm still working on the pills, but I gotta go grab a clean glass. But
you go grab a clean glass, and I'll open up the second one.
Yep, we'll bring it back.
All right, so I picked up a Peppermint Porter from Smut. This is from Smutty Nose, which I believe, are they out of Philly? I thought they were. No, Hampton, New Hampshire. I apologize.
Yeah. I was gonna say I thought more north of that. Yeah.
But this is their like they do these weird offshoot beers, and they do it under their Smutty Labs.
Yeah.
Smut Labs thing. This is not it's only 6% because that's not a bad thing. But I was curious to have a peppermint porter. I'm not sure I've ever had a peppermint porter before, so
I don't like peppermint.
Same.
But I believe peppermint will go good with a porter, actually.
Yeah, that pour. Woo!
Yeah, sexy glass too. Sexy glass.
All right,
look at those curves on that glass. Look at that shit.
It's my hourglass glass. So you get the roastiness and the peppermint on the nose, so that's good. But neither of them are overpowering. You get more roast than you do peppermint on the nose.
I think peppermint will go good with the malt forward porter, but that's just me.
Oh man, that's really good.
Right.
Like that peppermint, it's not. They didn't. You know how sometimes the peppermint's a freaking really strong flavor.
Yes.
So but that blends in super well with that nice roastiness. Man, that's good.
Wow, excellent. Yeah, I thought it had really good potential. Yeah. Shit. What's up, Jay?
Oh, hey.
How are you, Jay? What are you having?
I'm having a barley wine from Not Hill.
Oh,
shameless plug.
Ooh.
I'll be.
You said you're gonna go. Well, you said I'm gonna start off easy, so that's where we.
Right.
Barley wine is big now.
Foreshadowing is what we call it in writing.
In the writing biz.
Yeah, in the business, if you will. It's repeating trajectories. It's a barley wine that comes out like once a year. So
yeah. This is a good time for it too.
Yeah, especially today. It's like there's a cold front rolling in, and then everything's gonna get really cold soon.
Oh yeah, y'all having snow this weekend. Yeah. Right. And from a Pils to barley wine. All right, Jay. Right.
I'm fine.
He didn't even stop at the middle. He just went right from the from the bunny slope to the advanced slope.
Right. We love to say, Jay, what we drink on Friday is reflective of the week that we've had previously. So I don't know if that applies to you, but it does to us many times, actually. Right, Doug?
Yeah, very much so.
No,
Doug,
this is
I
just
have.
like, go ahead.
Or I'm sorry, Jay. No, you go, Jay.
No, you go ahead.
No, you.
It's just that usually I only break out like any of the like +8 stuff. Like, if I'm going to be around anybody else, like it's like a good social beer. Like, oh, it's a special occasion. I'm not just, watching SVU on the couch with my wife. So
Right. And real quick, so you mentioned her, you mentioned your ex-girlfriend a couple times, so I'm gonna bring her up. So is she a beer drinker too? Does she enjoy, because it's kind of a thing that goes on with couples, is sometimes they're beer drinkers, sometimes they're not, and whether you could share with her or not and all that.
So she today was her last day as the associate managing print editor at Wine Enthusiast. I can't remember what her title was, but so she worked there.
Okay.
So she was like, but she likes wine and she knows a lot about wine, but she was more like a cocktail kind of person. She really likes what do you call it? Like fortified wines, like Amaro and like Fernet, like stuff that I think tastes like. I wouldn't say it tastes like ass. I would say it tastes like.
Say it.
No PBR, but
it's clearly not your thing.
Yeah, it's just too bitter for me. But yeah, no. But she likes beer. She likes like like more funky stuff, like more wild ales and stuff like that.
Amen.
She likes like any beer that's like made with tea. She really likes.
Those. Oh, okay.
There's only like a handful, but
there's one that's called Owl's Brew, I think is one.
Oh, okay.
And they make all tea infused beers and stuff like that. I'll find out what it's called. I can't remember.
Are they up by you?
No, I just found them a couple years ago and I haven't seen them since, but I know they still make stuff.
Okay.
But
so I opened my second one here, Doug, and I got Knock If You Bach from Fresh Fest. I'm sorry, Barrel and Flow. Doppelbock. Did you get this one, Doug?
Which one was it? No, I didn't. I couldn't get the big expanded pack. I could only get the 6-pack, so I didn't get that, unfortunately.
Knock If You Bach. Doppelbock. Obviously a Doppelbock is a Bach beer, of course, but a bigger one. Usually ABV. And I don't know if y'all can see, but this is really my lighting really sucks, but this is light. You can probably almost see through it. Very light.
Looks like a brown ale almost.
Yeah, or amber. This drink's Jerry Grease from Black Frog. Is this Black Frog? Ohio.
Okay.
Yep. Or actually, Jerry, this says burgers and crafted culture. It says I don't see Black Frog on here.
Black Frog was one of the ones I had, was one of the collaborators and one that I had, and I think it was the seed one that had like all these different grains and stuff in it. But anyway, sorry.
No worries. This is definitely okay. So it's a 7.5%. That's a big one. A full figure Doppelbock, nuance with hazelnut, and rich toasted malt sweetness. Yes, absolutely. And this is a light drinker. This would be deadly because
it's at 7.5 and it drinks light.
Yeah, this is going down way too easy and too fast for a Doppelbock. Like a Doppelbock, I think you should not struggle with a Doppelbock, but you should, when you drink a Doppelbock, it almost should be like, oh, okay, this is a big one. Let me back off. This doesn't drink big. So it's gonna knock your ass out. Amazing, good shit. Are you familiar with Barrel and Flow, Jay?
Yeah, I think I wrote a thing about it when it had another name, and I'm not going to bring up the other name because I don't want to stir the pot or whatever, the controversy. Yeah. Whatever happened.
Right.
None of my business. Anyway, yeah.
Well,
and then every year that I'm supposed to, like the first 2 years, I had like the first year I was planning on going, and then someone was like, "Oh, I'm getting married in August," and I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm not going." And then the same thing happened the next year, and then this year I was going to a baby shower in Chicago, so
wow.
It was a good baby shower. That was at a brewery, and they brought, again, New Haven style pizza from Peace there. So I was very happy.
Oh, right.
Shout out to Andres and Emily.
Excellent. Doug shared this with me.
Yeah, those are now boozy teas, but they did have a line of beers that were infused with tea, which was really, really, really excellent. And looks like they don't make those anymore. That's a shame because those were excellent. But this sounds interesting too. I've never had any of those.
Wow. Yeah. I never even heard of that stuff. I'm not a tea person, so y'all can keep your tea infused beer. But again, if it sells and people drink it, I ain't gonna be the first to say anything. I'm not even gonna shame you.
You just did.
I just said I don't like it. I gave my fucking opinion, dog. Jesus Christ. Anyway, back to the Caribbean amphibian.
That's right, Jerry.
Doug had that last month, right? Or last week?
I think it was last week or the week before I had Caribbean.
Right. Cool. And the brewery had an Earl Grey beer, so they are definitely a thing. Yeah. So, Jerry, the bearded monk, has an Owl's brew pack. Okay, not sure what that means, but yeah. So before we get on to, I'm gonna have to shame Doug for this one. Before we get on to what we're watching, I wanted to bring up, it's the time of the year, y'all. It's the time for Girl Scout cookies. Do we have any fans? Do we have any love? Jay, I think you liked it. What's going on? Where you at with the Girl Scout cookies?
I don't get them as often as I used to when I worked in an office, and somebody would always come around with a thing, and you're like, "Oh, let me just get 2 or 4 or 10," because they only come around once a year. So yeah. Well, then you start thinking towards the future.
It used to be once.
I know I'm going to go through both of these boxes, and I'm not going to have any Girl Scout cookies. So
right, eat a whole box and shit. Right, yeah. Right. That's how you do it. Correct.
So they give you a lot in the box.
Right. So if you had to indulge, where would you go on this sheet here?
Okay, so I only really fuck with 2 styles. 2 styles. Everything else can go fuck itself. Sorry. Well, no, we are swearing. It's fine. Anyway, Samoas.
We don't give a fuck.
There we go. Samoas and Thin Mints. Everything else.
Samoas, yes. Samoas are the best on this chart. Period.
Yeah.
Now, Thin Mints.
Come on, Doug. Fine.
Thin Mints.
Okay.
That's my jam.
Yeah.
Although the Adventure Folds, which I'd never seen before, that sounds like something I would eat 5 boxes of if I sat still long enough.
The Adventure Full, where
it's at the bottom middle.
Those are the new ones. Yeah. Brownie and what? Caramel and sea salt.
Yeah.
Man, that seems to be the newest thing now, is the caramel sea salt thing. And I'm not bitching. I'm just saying that I see it a lot now. I fucking love caramel and sea salt. Pretty much in anything. Anything pretty much. I mean, caramel, sea salt, pizza, I'll be down. Yeah, it's just one of those combos, man. It's like Citra and Mosaic. It's just classic for me. It's just fantastic. I don't care what IPA, Jay. You can put Citric and Mosaic in any of my fucking IPAs, and it doesn't really matter. I'll drink it, slam it, and I will not even care. So the bottom 3 are all new, I believe. I've never seen the s'mores one. And then the gluten-free one I know nothing about, but toffee, I love toffee. Wait, Jay, what was that?
I don't know how good a gluten-free toffee one is going to be, so I'm good on that.
It doesn't really sound good, but I would try it.
Well,
right.
Good for
what
you.
about tagalongs?
What is that? The peanut butter one? It's fine. Not my first pick or my second pick.
Right. I mean, I would, if they were here, I would, look, man, the only one I would not eat a whole box of is mint. And mint's not my thing. Mint is just not my thing. So, like, while I want to shame y'all for it, I want to. I'm not going to, and I can't because it's just not my thing. Mint's just not a taste that I like. But I understand y'all's angle. Doug, do they have to be? My youngest son says thin mints, but they got to be in the refrigerator.
I've had them in the freezer and I've had them not, and I eat them just the same. I am not picky when it comes to thin mints. So,
right. Thin mints have to be one of the top sellers, man. Everybody says it. Like, thin mints are a close second. Tag-alongs a third. Right. You eat them all with a bowl of milk.
Of course you would. There have to be a thin. Manny's a cereal hound, so everything.
Cereal
is
killer?
related.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Maybe.
Who drinks milk?
Jay, he literally came on this stream right here and mixed a beer and a bowl of cereal and ate it.
And ate it on the show.
Loved it.
Wow. How quickly did you
and I think
box?
right. Well, we didn't know his address, but but I also think that he combined cereals too, Doug. I didn't think it was just one cereal. So he combined cereals, poured a beer in it, and ate it with a spoon.
And it
What was the beer? Was it a stout at least?
I don't think so. I think it was. I can't remember. Was it a cereal inspired beer though, or was it that glitter one he had? It might have been the glitter one he had, which would have been really funny.
I don't remember. I was just laughing and I couldn't even remember. Like, I was just in another. He just took us to another planet, Doug, on that one. Yeah. It was a cereal beer for sure, Doug.
Hey, I couldn't remember. I thought it was a cereal beer, but I wasn't sure if that was because he had one that had glitter, and I was like, okay, I was,
Oh shit! Well, here we go. Yo, what are y'all watching? Jay, I'm gonna tee you up here because you were the only one that I had something here, but I completely. You have two shows that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I really like. I don't know where to start. I'll start with Southside because that's the less controversial of the two. I really like Southside. It's really brilliant. Like, I think if you like Atlanta, or at least that kind of style of humor, I think you also
silly as fuck.
Yeah, the last
Southside
season,
is silly as shit. It is really, really silly. It really is fucking silly, especially the first year.
The second year, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a tribute to Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Like, the whole episode.
Wow.
It's like mirrors Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's awesome. Go watch it.
That's a bold choice.
It was bold, but what's that? Fortune favors the bold, or something like that.
Fortune favors the bold.
On a bus stop or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and I talked about this show before. It's about it's about South Side Chicago, and they wanted to. Jay, I'm that guy. Once I start watching a show or binge a show, I get on Wikipedia and I Google it, and I'm like trying to find everything. Yeah, I'm that guy trying to find trivia about it and why they started it and who's behind it and who's starring it. And I need to know everything about a show if I'm going to spend like 7 hours just watching it. So it's about the South Side, and part of the whole thing was that, and Jay, you know this by watching, is that they wanted to bring a different, South Chicago has that stigma of, you know what I mean? Black people live there and everybody gets shot and killed there. And you know what I mean? The whole Chicago, like, it's kind of gone away, actually, the whole Chicago stereotypical murder city. Like, they make Chicago like you can't even walk out and like, you can't even walk to Chicago without being shot. Like, they make it seem that way. So these fellas made the show and made it such a lighthearted comedy that I think everybody should watch it. It's on HBO Max. And if you like, again, I like silly shit. Sometimes my humor needs to be without thought, just fucking silly. And that is this show, especially the first season. It's just too fucking hilarious, actually. I mean, there's just so many good quality, silly ass fucking. It's silly like Dumber and Dumber, but way better like comedy. Like it's silly, but there are some serious like things that you have to think through. You know what I'm talking about, Jay?
Yeah,
but there's
yeah,
a lot of it. You just take the face of it. You know what I mean? You can just laugh at it, not even have to think. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I really hope more people watch it so it doesn't get canceled because I think the world needs more comedies like that. You know, it's just everybody kind of just follows. There's like a formula that for popular comedies that I really get annoyed by. Like, was it like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? I'm like, it's just the same episode over and over again, kind of. And what's the other show? Workaholics. It's like, I get it. Yeah, you're wacky and you're dumb, but like, I don't know. Southside, all the characters are really good. Like the cops in it are hilarious. I think the one
cops
I think he's one of the creators. He's married to the other cop, I believe. But yeah, it's so good.
What was it? It was episode 3 where the female cop's like, I gotta go get this dick. And she saw she saw this father, good looking guy with a baby. And like, you know, you could tell like he was like a single father. And like she pulled him over just because he was good looking. And then she's like, right, and then she's like, hold on, I gotta go get this dick. And it was just like, this shit is so fucking silly. And then they had that show about the Nikes, and people running over for Nikes, and they just make so much good fun out of like serious topics. It's a really great show. So, yeah. Jay, what else you got?
Then there's I Think You Should Leave, which isn't for everybody. I will just say that it's a sketch comedy show. You see all the GIFs for it all over Twitter. I can't explain. It's just a lot of absurdism. Like the very first episode first sketch is about a guy going to like a job interview and then he leaves and he's like trying to leave, but it's like a door that you push out, but he keeps pulling in and the guy's like, no, I think you push out. He's like, no, I was here yesterday, and it pulls in, and it's just, it might make you cringe, but I enjoy it. It's again, not for everybody, but I love it. It's literally the only thing I watch repeatedly that makes me laugh out loud to the point I feel embarrassed, except who cares? Yeah.
So it's cringe-worthy, I hear.
Yeah, just like, yeah, but it's beautiful.
All right. Doug, what's going on?
I watched something this week, and I haven't been watching a lot of stuff actually, which is unusual for me. Is I watched Don't Look Up, and basically I heard like that lots of people liked it and lots of people didn't. So I was like, all right, well, I'll give it. I mean, that lineup that's a lot of freaking really good actors and actresses in that. So it is like if you smashed Idiocracy together with Deep Impact, like it's so like absurd, but the reason people didn't like it was because Meryl Streep plays the president, and it's like a female Trump, and Jonah Hill plays her son, who is the chief of staff. So it's like it's just this. Basically Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence are scientists, and they discover a comet that's going to hit the Earth in 6 months, and they try to tell them, and they're like, yeah, but we have midterms up. We can't tell them that the comet's going to come and obliterate. We'll lose the midterms. And like, they just completely miss the whole thing. Like, if you've ever seen Idiocracy, it just really does remind me a lot of that. I think people didn't like it because it seemed so heavy handed with how much they were clearly knocking that administration, but like really well done. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So
yeah, that shit gets mixed reviews.
Yeah.
I hear people say it's great and they love it, and I hear people say, fucking, it's stupid. Right. Right. I definitely have to see that one now. Right. And I'm not watching anything new. I shared last week, Jay, that I watched that awful. Actually, do I still have it up here? That awful movie. No, I don't. Thank God.
Oh,
Batman and Robin.
Why did you watch that?
Because
hostage?
Well, my sons, I'll blame them. We want to go through all the Batmans, so we started with the. Well, again, sorry, Jay, we're past that point. We did see, so we saw the first two with Michael Keaton. Then we skipped and saw Batman Robin. We knew it was going to be trash. Then we went back. This week we saw Batman Forever, which was a little bit better, but it's still. So now we start the Dark Knight series. They've never seen it. So they're all happy, but they demanded that they wanted to see all of them straight through. So we watched it. And I warned them about Batman and Robin, but it was just so bad. So I saw Batman Forever this week, which was decent, but my kids are still like, why do we need Batwoman? Why do we need Batgirl? Why do we need Catwoman? And I'm like, I'm with you. At least Batman Forever had Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Really good job. I thought he did a good job. Well, compared to
Jay's like, no,
right? No, well,
I'm not a Jim Carrey fan.
But okay. But Jay, compared to the rest of the villains in the first Batman trilogy or quadrilogy or whatever you want to call it, he was clearly one of the best villains. The rest of the villains were Joker was the best. Penguin, Poison Ivy.
It's a low bar. It's a very low
Catwoman. Right, it's a really low bar. Iceman, come on. Iceman was, come on. Like
Mr. Freeze, yeah.
Mr. I call him Iceman, Mr. Freeze. Harvey Two-Face. Where was the Two-Face? He was more like just Joker. The whole series you can almost just throw in the trash. I'm sorry. I'm not even. Right, so that's how some of my kids. I'm like, for me, a lot about Batman is not only just who's the Batman and all that. It's about the villains, and the villains keep me as entertained as much as the Batman does. And when we get to the Dark Knight series, that'll all change with Heath Ledger's Joker and all that. I mean, but I didn't want to spoil all that for them. I'm just saying, pay attention to the And I heard about the Joker movie. Have y'all seen that one?
I sat through it once, and I was just like, I think I just don't like Joaquin Phoenix. So this is actually a me issue.
Okay. I heard it was good.
I get that.
But again, I'm just like, to me, the villains mean as much as the Batman. It just does. I want that counterbalance going on. You know what I mean? I want a good villain, and I want a good Batman, and I just haven't gotten it yet. So we're gonna start the Dark Knight series hopefully tonight. And that'll be interesting. And also, I'm still getting through, but I'm enjoying it thoroughly. Samson and Son, and it's just a fantastic old throwback, sitcom. It's just funny as hell. Red Fox is fantastic. The whole storyline is great. I really think it's interesting and old school about how they dropped the N-word on that show.
Oh yeah, different world.
Right. It's just a different world. It's different. It's just different times, and I just respect a lot about Red Fox and Lamont. Deadman.
You big dummy.
You big dummy. Right. I just love that shit. On Esther. Esther's so awesome. Y'all heathens. And I love how she's so over the top about her religion. But yeah, I'm on season 5, so by next week I will be done with that. Unfortunately, I'm going to move on to Samson and then Samson Arms too. I'm going to check them all out. But yeah, so I don't really have anything new besides that. Let's see here. Danny DeVito was amazing as a Penguin.
Okay.
I did like the Jack Nicholson Joker, even though I still think Heath Ledger's Joker was far superior to him. But Jack Nicholson's Joker was at least very good for the movie it was in, I think.
Yeah, it was the best part of that movie. The movie sucks ass as an adult.
Right. Absolutely. So yeah, that's what we're watching, y'all. And I don't know if I'm not sure. Again, like I said, Dark Knight series coming up, so I'll be able to talk about that, Doug, because I don't think I saw the third one. I saw the first two. I don't think I saw the third one.
You didn't see the third one with Bane?
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, and I had to say, Batman Begins is actually a pretty underrated movie out of the Batman series. That doesn't get a lot of pub. I think Batman Begins is actually a pretty good one out of the Dark
Batman
Knight.
Begins, The Dark Knight, and then The Dark Knight Returns. That's the three of them, right?
Yeah.
Batman
That was
Begins.
the Dark Knight Rises, I think. But
Oh, you're right. It's Rises.
Oh, okay, right, Rises. The Dark Knight Rises.
But even so, I think the Christian Bale origin story of Batman and Batman Begins, I actually like that one. But
yeah. And while we're here, Christian Bale was the best Batman, right?
Low bar again.
I haven't seen.
It was okay. He just wasn't handsome enough for me. Like I was like, I don't believe you're a millionaire playboy. Like you could be a millionaire, but like I don't see women throwing themselves at you because you're
right. And then so then it was him, and then it was Val Kilmer, which was completely unbelievable in my opinion. Even my kids were like, he's just not. My kids were like, he's just not. And then you had George Clooney, who the whole thing is did you know that George Clooney paid his friends back money because they went and saw that shit? He's like, look, that was so bad that he paid his friends back money. He was probably the worst one for me at this point. And again, I have fond memories of Christian Bale being the Batman, so I'll see it again because I saw it when it first came out. But that was like at this point almost a decade. That movie's really those movies are getting old now, and now you have the new one, The Batman, coming out, Doug, and they just said that it's going to be PG, not R. So they were flirting with R for a Batman movie, which I was wanting them to do it actually. Bring out the darkness, man. Bring out, take it to a different level, as you know what I mean? Because we had the first ones, Jay, where they were, at the end they ended up real corny. I mean, real fucking corny. And then you had the Dark Knight series, which, they wanted to bring out more seriousness and, like cast a darker edge on Batman, which I believe he should be there. And another thing about Batman, while we're on a Batman fix here, my kids struggle with the whole dual. I guess, I didn't read the comics and neither did my kids, but they struggle with the whole dual identity thing where they feel that Batman always has to have a love interest. And they're like, why? Like, but I guess that's part of the duality of Batman where they really want to show, as opposed to Spider-Man. Because my kids say, and I missed the first Spider-Man trilogy. My kids say that they don't really focus on Spider-Man's human side as much as they do his super side. Whereas Batman, I think that's part of the duality of the whole thing, right, Jay, or no? Like showing his personal side and then his super side.
I would say also check out some of the animated Batman films that they've done over the last 15-ish years. Those are pretty good. Those are a little more gritty, probably not safe for children, but if you wanted to watch yourself. I think the reason why there's always a love interest in the Batman movies is because he's so dedicated to fighting crime that if he has to challenge himself by the character has to be challenged by not falling in love, because then he would have to dedicate his life away from fighting crime into being with Catwoman or Vicky. I can't even remember any of them.
Vicky Vale and
what's the other one? The Maggie Gyllenhaal one where he goes to save her. Harvey. Oh wait, never mind. You haven't seen it. Don't let me ruin it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's part of the duality is him having to step away from being Batman and being just Bruce, who is in love with this woman.
Right. And I think that's that's part of what my boys struggle with is that part. And I think, and I'm like, at this point, y'all, because we saw 4 movies, I'm like, that's clearly part of Batman, and they want that part to be accented. But we believe that they clearly struggle with that whole. Telling that story and having it kind of balanced out. So, because again, we had Superman and Lois Lane, but again, I don't remember Superman, spending so much time with his love interest and showing all that. Or
Superman 2. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Superman 2.
Superman 2, he gives up his powers so he can be with her. So like, and he gets his ass kicked in a diner because he got his powers taken away, and then he's like, "Oh, this sucks." And then like he has to like go and save the world again. So he gets his powers back, and then goes and beats up the guys at the diner, which is really stupid. But like he threw it all away. He walked away from
right.
it.
Oh, my boys are not gonna like that.
Yeah, I think if you show them those early Superman movies, they're probably just not. They're gonna be like, "This is corny as hell."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're gonna get to that. Yeah, we're gonna get to that because we want to go through. Yeah, we want to go through all. They want to go through all the superhero movies, and they want to do them in order. So after Batman is Spider-Man, and after Spider-Man is Superman, because my youngest already read up on Superman, and he's like, "I don't even know if I want to do that shit." He didn't say shit, but he didn't say shit, but he's like, "I don't even know if I want to do that." And I'm like, "Oh, you got to see old school Superman. Like that's what I grew up on, like the Kryptonite and Lex Luthor. Like Superman." I was trying to tell him that Superman used to be the bomb, like when we were growing up. Yeah. Like there was no Spider-Man was not. I mean, we knew about all the superheroes, but there was no like, you know what I mean? There was no movie to back it up. And now we got we got what, 7 Batman movies. We got an 8th one coming out. We got what, 6 Spider-Man movies.
No, there's more than 6. There's more than 6. Yeah, got to be more than 6.
No, 6 people movies. I'm not talking about Spideyverse and all that. I'm talking about 6 people movies. Like I know about the Spideyverse. I know it's fantastic. I haven't seen it. My kids love it. They rant and rave about it. But they want to go through all the people movies. Okay. Then we'll go through like the animation ones and all that, because again, when you go through the animation ones, like Jay said, Batman has a gazillion ones, and we're not even talking about the series. Like there's series of animation, and you know what I mean. But when I was trying to tell my kids, like when we were growing up, there was like 1 or 2 Superman movies, and where were the rest of the superheroes? Like they were not around. And now we got Marvel, DC. We got. I mean, my kids saw Batwoman. There's a Batwoman show, and we're like, what? Oh, yeah. Right. We're like, man. And now it's almost like all of it is like superheroes. They're all over the place. They're on Netflix. They're, you know what I'm saying? So no, we're gonna eventually get to those, Doug. But like, there's only I'm pretty sure there's only 6 Spider-Man movies. We just got the 6th one. Right?
Yeah, because Tom Holland was in all the Spider-Verse ones, and it was like Tobey Maguire, and then it was Andrew Garfield, and then
right.
So yeah, okay, that makes sense. Sorry, I was thinking you were including the Spider-Verse.
No. I'm not including the Spider-Verse. I know I should, because I hear they're nothing but fantastic. People love the Spideyverse one. I need to get to that. My kids already saw it. It's on one of my lists, of my personal list that I want to see myself. But yeah, so we're gonna go through all the Spider-Man ones, and it's just, I mean, I almost feel, I don't know about y'all, but I feel really overwhelmed by just the Spider movie, or just the superhero movies. Again, when I grew up, it was this fucking Superman. That was it. And then I told my kids like Superman, and they're like, Superman is the lamest one, and I'm like, it's pretty crazy because Superman was the only one we had. So Superman is what I looked up to, is what I loved. But like, I told them that like part of Superman's legacy for me, unfortunately, is that Christopher Reeve ended up in a fucking wheelchair, and I'm like, it's tragic. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to make fun of that or make light of that. But like when the actor of Superman ends up in a wheelchair, there's kind of a mind fuck there, if that makes sense. And that's what I was trying to if that make, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, you were Superman and now you're in a wheelchair, and it was like a freak, horse accident or something. And again, rest in peace, because I don't think he's not around. Rest in peace and all that. But like at the same time, it was still like, wow, like that was kind of like, it was kind of like a real life. Come on, y'all writers, so y'all can help me. What is that when like real life kind of like portrays fake life? And it was like looking back at it, like that's how
life imitates art.
Yeah, and that's how like looking back of it, the whole Superman series could have been in a wheelchair itself, because it was so.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are also aware there is a movie.
I'm a horrible human being. I'm sorry. Go on, Doug. Save me from this.
Yeah. Well, there's a movie that you can watch that is actually considered the evil Superman origin. Brightburn. which is basically
Oh!
like if
That's good as
Superman.
hell.
Yeah, that is
What's going on?
It's a movie called Brightburn, where basically the whole story of Superman, how he came to Earth, except he's evil.
Oh,
It's super messed up, but really good.
wow. Okay. Wow. And the most recent Superman movies are just.
Yeah, they suck.
So we don't have any good depiction of Superman. So my kids are going to grow up thinking that Superman sucks, right?
Yeah.
Look at Jake's like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I read some of the comics, and he just doesn't have. He lacks the darkness that Batman has, like in his soul. There is one good alternate story where he lands in. They made an animated film out of it, and it was a comic book called Red Sun, where he lands in Russia instead of America, like Cold War's communist Russia. And so he lands there, and then like it's just like what would have happened if Superman landed in Russia instead of America? Like what would the world be like? So that was kind of a cool telling of Superman, but obviously you have to do crazy shit to Superman to make him interesting.
Right. Lauren, and she put it on her Twitter too. She did a bunch of Marvel movies, but she hasn't covered much DC. What would you say?
I said not missing anything.
Right. But I hear I hear the deal with DC is that their movies suck, but their series are good. Is that
the animated movies?
Yeah, their shows.
I'm sorry.
Their
their TV shows are better
Yeah.
than the movies depict them.
Titans is really good.
Titans, that's on HBO Max, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep,
and Stargirl was pretty good.
Stargirl.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man, so look, Evil Superman reminds me of the Star Wars Dark Jar Jar.
Okay.
Star Wars is another one now, man. I'm not even trying to go down that rabbit hole, but like, man, yeah. I grew up with fondness of it, and I don't know. And I hear the new Boba Fett people are not liking that one already.
I haven't watched it. I like Star Wars, like the original trilogy. I'm a fan.
Yep. But after that,
I mean, the prequels suck. Those are all terrible. And like, I tried to. At the time, I was like, "No, it's fine. It's really good. What are you talking about?" And then, like, I came to my senses, and it's not good.
Right.
And then the last three that they did they weren't great, but it was fine.
All right, Doug. You have a third beer, buddy?
I do. I actually went into my cellar fridge, which I haven't done in several months, and I was pretty happy to actually do that. So I grabbed a 15-month-old Dragon's Milk.
Ooh.
This one,
yes.
remember I had one when we had Wendig on, and all the adjuncts went out of it. It was just like a really boozy thing. But this is going to be interesting because it's bourbon barrel aged out with vanilla and chai spices, and I'm wondering how those will, if they'll stay. So we're going to give this a go.
Not a chai fan. Sorry.
I also, when I was down and I looked at my cellar fridge, I realized I have a regular Dragon's Milk that I put in February of 2019. So I'm saving that, and I'm going to save it for 5 years. That's my goal, to save that one for 5 years if I can.
Good luck.
I have
Manny's a DC guy, but they butchered his childhood.
That's a nice freaking head on it for being 15 months old. Nice.
DC animation's on point, though.
It's true.
All right.
Most of those are on HBO Max as well.
Yeah, they have a bunch of those on there. Yeah.
Batman, right?
Yeah.
Batman's DC. Spider-Man is Marvel, right? I always get confused.
They're in that Marvel universe now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I always get confused with that shit.
Okay. The chai spices are still there and pretty forward. It's almost has a little bite to it. The vanilla is still there, but just a little. And I remember having this fresh, and the vanilla was way more forward. So 15 months aged out the vanilla a little, but the chai managed to stay pretty prominent. And obviously the bourbon flavors are really good. So cheers to that. I'm always curious to wonder if I could figure out how the alcohol content changes after cellaring it, like especially in a bourbon barrel aged thing, to see if that changes how the like the ABV of it. Like I wonder if that changes, whether it lessens or improves or whatever.
I think it's more about the taste than it is about the alcohol dissipating. I could be wrong though.
I think you're probably right there, but yeah, the chai. If you don't like chai, you wouldn't like this. This is very much chai forward now with the bourbon. So.
Any comments on cellaring, Jay? Because we heard that you cellar.
Yeah, I cellared and I did too much, and now it's been 6 years. 6 years, 2 homes, not 2 homes, but like when we moved out of New Haven, like I don't know, I had probably, I think I had like 90 bottles that I brought, and that was like whatever that dickhead got elected 2017 that we moved here. So like, and then it was pretty full, but then like over the pandemic,
dickhead.
The guy who used to be president.
No. We know. I just love that quick reference. You just said it like nothing and just moved on. Anyway, go on now.
So I think
like matter of fact, like dickhead. Yeah. Yes. Go on.
That's kind of how we mark the time here. Just because when our offer got accepted at the house, it was literally election day. So a day that would make infamy for us. Anyway, we're not going to talk about him anymore.
Right.
So we moved with like 95 bottles. I moved with 95 bottles. And then I think I was up to like 1 something. And then I just I think it's probably down to like 40-ish now. And they're all big bottles. So it's like, I got a bunch of like brewery, like Black Tuesday. And it's like, it's 20%. Who am I going to drink this with by myself?
Right. And that's why I like that the industry, it was before the pandemic, in my opinion, that they were moving away, but I like that the industry is moving away from the bombers and going to like 4-packs and like
because they're
growlers and because they're more shareable. And like I'm with you, Jay. I leave those bottles for like, when I'm around my friends or special occasions and shit. And then the pandemic just took all that shit away. So then, you know what I mean? Like no friends, no special occasions. So now you're just stuck with these big ass bottles, and like I guess we sit around the house and have time to drink, but Jesus,
you can't really.
Yeah, I showed you, Greg. I think I showed you a picture of that bottle of that Duvel that was like a rum barrel aged Duvel, and it's huge. And I'm like, why did I buy that? I can't drink that myself. I'll never make it upstairs, and like so
right. And
that's going to sit in my fridge now because I don't have anybody to drink that with. I mean, my wife would drink it, but between us, we're not going to finish the whole thing.
I was going to say, Jay. Yeah, Jay. Doug's wife does sip, with Doug. You know what I mean? But she sips. She's not going to be there slamming half a damn. You know what I mean? Like we would. I mean, we would slam half of it if I could get somebody else to do the other half. You know what I'm saying? But like Joe won't even do. She's not a beer drinker like that. Not that she won't do it, but so she'll sip some and have some, but it ain't enough for Doug to open up a whole fucking like bottle and like ugh. So anyway, Jay, we were running our mouths. You said you have a third one, or you?
I did, yeah. Again, another Nut Hill beer. Shameless plug. It's Calendador, which is a imperial stout with brewed with chipotles, cacao, and cinnamon. It's pretty good. Standard kind of like Mexican chocolate, hot chocolate kind of stout.
Yes. I want to know how spicy that shit is. That's so when I hear.
Sorry.
No worries. When I hear those ones, I'm worried about the spice factor more than anything, and then the cinnamon can also be very overpowering. So I'm interested in those two, how they balance out.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on cinnamon because like there's a local brewery has seemed to make a lot of stouts with cinnamon like repeatedly, and got to a point where I was like, everything just tastes like cinnamon from them. So I'm kind of like it's kind of like the adjunct that I always like kind of like turn my nose up at. I'm like, I don't know about that, but I've had this one. It's actually, I'll take a sip.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's mild. It's like not spicy at all. Like it's not like heat spicy. Like you taste the cinnamon, you taste the smoke, you taste the peppers, you taste the chocolate, but it's definitely leaning a little more towards the sweet side as opposed to the fiery side. But we didn't even get to talk about black IPAs.
Right. Oh, we got time. We got time. So the cinnamon and the heat you're saying balances out pretty good.
Yeah, there's no heat. It's just like, but there's enough space between the spice, the chili flavor, and the cinnamon where you can clearly differentiate between the two. It's not just like hot, which I've had before in beers.
Right. JHG here says, yeah, you got his attention. He's a big stout drinker. And he loves his, he can speak for himself, of course, but he loves his adjuncts too. Mm-hmm. Not afraid of that. And neither are we, Doug.
No, I will say the chili beers, because I get heartburn super easy. Like that's a tough ask for me, but like I can appreciate it if you can blend it well.
Right. But the more spicy, the more it hits your heartburn.
Yeah, like I can handle heat and spice, but only to a certain level before I get heartburn. So like, even like, unfortunately, like if I went like Indian or Thai food, I have to get it a little bit. I have to get it
one or two.
Yeah, unfortunately, so for me.
And I'm like a 3 or a 4.
Yeah,
I don't know. I never. A 5 only if I know the place. But even then, like. Y'all know how this is, Jay. It sounds like you know how this is. Doug probably doesn't, or maybe does. But like that 4 and 5 and 3 range can be like, it depends on who's cooking it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got a 4 and you're like, this is like a 2. Like I could have did the 5, and then the next time you do the 5, and then your ass is burning the next day. So
I don't do 5 because I know that's going to be like, oh, you think you're tough? Oh, all right, we'll see who's tough. That's what I know is going to happen. So that's why I always just like keep it to 4. Like don't challenge anybody.
That's just funny. 5 is, oh, you think you're tough? Okay, I never. That's hilarious. But Jay does think he's tough though, because because he's going to come on this stream right now, Doug, and tell us why he don't like black IPAs. So that's why I think that. Yeah. And he just, I don't know if you were here or you left, but he was like, he just yelled at me. Not yell, but he made sure that he wanted to talk about this. So, and we got a lot of black IPA people in the comments too. So here you go, Jay. Good luck.
Okay, people in the comments, get ready. Hope your fingers are limber up, Do one of these.
Right. I was asking if Jay was good with haters earlier. So let's see how he deals with them live, Doug.
Haters are my people. I am a hater. Je m'appelle hateries. Black IPAs are awful. Black IPAs are the worst black thing since Candace Owens. Black IPAs are the worst.
That is a quote that we gotta put. And why? What is your basis? What? Yeah, what do you got?
The roast and the like hot bitterness. It's too much.
Yes, it's great.
It's just a bitter bomb.
Have you had a good one?
Does it exist? Are we talking about unicorns and like Pegasus? What are we doing? Like,
Greg sounded like every dude at a bar that hears a woman's a lesbian. You just haven't had a good one yet.
Right.
You just haven't met the right man yet. Yeah.
So you just right. Exactly. Shut up, Doug. You're supposed to be on my side, damn it. So it's just that mix of like hops and malt and yeah. Right. He pulled out Candace Owens and I couldn't. Right. He pulled out Candace Owens, Doug, and I don't really have a response for that.
I was going to say black licorice, but that's just
he
me.
said it. He said it too.
Candace Owens is a way better.
Right. So it's just that balance, like, because again, I think like what black IPAs is like, it's that like they crank up the malts so that the malts kind of equal the hops. So then you basically have a clash of like two very different things. Yeah. Okay.
There's only one loser, me.
Right. And I don't know, a lot of black IPAs too, like either have like, you know, that malt when they crank it up, it either like cranks up the roastiness or it cranks up like the chocolate. So if you're not that, you know what I mean? So sometimes they're like multi chocolate, hoppy. I'm with you.
Yeah, I liked Russian Imperial Stouts fine. Like, you know, and that's like, it's like they took that and they're like, oh, you know, let's fuck this up. Let's like triple dry hop this with like Chinook or whatever and like really blow everyone's face off. It's an assault on the senses.
For you, I guess it's good because they're kind of disappearing. I think they're kind of I have seen less and less of them. And I don't know. I'm one that looks for them. But yeah, and not all of them are good. We're back to this whole thing. Like, especially when there's a spike of any kind of beer style, in my opinion, that's when you get like the worst of the style, actually. The more people brew it, the worse you have an opportunity. And then I think this is why people like, I mean, you know, Jay, you've heard it, the IPA haters. I think they're less now. I feel that they are, but they're still out there. And, you know, some of that's legit. I'm not even, Jay, I don't know if you know this or not. I don't know how many streams you saw of us, but ask Doug, I'll drink pretty much any IPA. I'm an IPA lover. I love them all. I love pretty much all up and down, even the black ones. Especially the black ones. Right. But no, but I'm not normal in this aspect, and I already know that because I understand that people like, you know, different hop profiles bring different flavors, whether it's juicy, bitter. You know what I mean? You live in the world of the New England IPA. So there was a flood of that shit, especially when you were probably writing about beer. There was just a flood of that. And it's just like, it can't all be good. And at some point, your palate gets beat the fuck down by drinking so many fucking IPAs. And so I feel you, man. And I don't even, this is why Doug and I, like, again, I'll much rather shame you for Thin Mints, which are gross. Which are gross, by the way. I'd much rather shame you for that. Or Doug doesn't like avocados, which is, what the fuck? Right. So I'd rather food shame anybody than beer shame because, again, it's all the same. It is. Really Let's just be real. Right. Beer is food, you know what I mean? But I don't know, as a beer guy, I kind of just want, you know, people to like what they like. And one thing I do love, though, Jay, is I love people's opinions on beer. And I love hearing bad ones. And I love hearing people describe bad beers, actually, more than good beers. Like, it was like licking a tire. And I'm like, how do you even know what a tire tastes like? But it's fine. I want to hear it. Or this is when people have bad. Yeah, right. Exactly. When people have bad opinions about bad beer, I absolutely love to hear that. And I just laugh. And, you know, again, that's why I wanted to hear your opinion. I was like, what? And I love it. I love when people have strong opinions about any kind of style, whatever. I don't know if you want to remark on anything I said, but, you know, the whole beer thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess I just haven't had a well-made black IPA, but I probably still will stand by what I said.
But
what you said about when you taste a bad beer, like if there was one IPA I had, you know, when you're a kid and you have a popsicle and you finish the popsicle, but you still have like, because you're a little kid, you're still trying to get like every grain of like syrupy meltiness like off
juice,
it. So
all that up. Yeah.
And like, but eventually the melted popsicle goes away, and all you're left with is like the wood taste of the popsicle stick.
Yeah.
There were sometimes in an IPA, specifically one local one, it was like I drank it and like the aftertaste was just like popsicle stick. just wood. It was just like, oh, this is just it's
gross.
Yeah. Then there's also another place that just the aftertaste is just completely disgusting. Like you chewed a carpet. You just open your mouth and wrapped it around a carpet. Bad word.
Would I?
Correct. Right. And Manny, there's not enough cereal beers. So like Manny, again, he's our cereal guy. Manny, real quick here, I'm gonna be hitting you up soon, man. It's time for your next appearance. So Jay, look for that soon. I gotta book you, Manny. Gotta get you back.
He showed up in a smoking jacket last time, so everything is on the table with Manny. So
Yep. So I was gonna ask Jay a question, but he'll be right back. Doug, while Jay is away, I do want to do this quick. We can do this real quick. We usually wait for our guests to leave, and then we do this. But I want to do this now. Our favorite, well, not favorite, but one of our, well, they're all our favorites. One of our favorite guest hosts is Chelsea Alt. She was down in Texas this week. She was part of the staff helping these kids during the showcase for college seniors. They go down there, they show off in front of the coaches how fast they are, they get coached up. Here's Chelsea right there in the bottom there. Picture, she was the only female coach on the staff down there. And she's back. So next time we have her as guest host, which I'm not sure yet, we're going to talk about that. We'll talk to Chelsea about that, but she's still kicking ass and taking names on the football field as a coach and bringing her knowledge to everybody. So we are happy to tell everybody about that. And next time we have Chelsea on, we'll talk about that. So, awesome. So Jay, I left Manny's thing up here too. A final parting shot before we get you out of here and we move on. Manny says there's not enough cereal beers. So, which brings me to the whole, which I've never really bought into, but a lot of people talk about it. I know as a beer writer, I know that this is in your sphere, and I know you've heard this before, which is people are like, I don't like beer that don't taste like beer. And they have this angle where they don't like, like whether it be cereal beers or Fruit Loops or Fruity Pebbles or even the kind of beer that you just open with cinnamon and cocoa nibs and this and that. So where you lie on that? Because I personally, real quick, I like that beers taste vastly different, and I like that they're approachable to people like Manny, who may not be, I think Manny's going to drink beer no matter what, whether they're cereal or not. But there are certain people who only drink, like we talked about your ex-girlfriend, and how she likes, tea beers, and we talked about people who like winey beers, like brewed IPAs and stuff like that. So where do you fall as a, beer person, beer critic, beer writer, all that?
I just think people need to like the self-righteousness and like, I guess, zealotry, just being like a purist, just like, I'm a bit of a music snob myself, so a recovering music snob. So I get how you're not going to like things that aren't for you, right? Like, you have to grow as a person to realize that everything's not for you. So if you don't like cereal beers, that's fine. No one's going to force a cereal beer into your mouth. Like, if someone's enjoying it, just go let them enjoy it. You can laugh at them and be like, oh, so the cereal boys are here again or whatever, stamp, crackle, pop. Call them what you will. But, like, I don't know, let people enjoy stuff and, laugh at them behind their backs. But there's no point in, like, getting on a soapbox and being like, that's wrong. That's not beer. You're not drinking beer. You're not a real beer person.
Yeah. And that's one thing that we don't, I have a beer group on Facebook, and that's one thing that we don't really tolerate in there. It's really one of the only things we don't tolerate in there. It's just people being like, shaming people for, liking whatever they like. And that's, I think, part of the reason why Doug and I don't shame people for being here. But we will shame your ass for anything else. And so I just wanted your opinion on that. But also, real quick before this is, I promise this is the last question.
I'm fine with more questions. I just have to go to the bathroom.
Well, right. No worries. I just
we can ask questions. I'm not sure how deep you want to go. This will be fun.
Right. But this is one of the serious ones. We haven't asked it in a long time. We used to ask it a lot. So, we want to know if you and the lady sleep with a top sheet. So
that's a funny question. So
you have you know what the top sheet is, and then you have your blanket. Then you have that thin sheet. It's not a covered sheet, and then you have
What's a top sheet? Wait, is it top? So there's the fitted part. There's a fitted sheet, right?
There's a fitted sheet, and then the other sheet that supposedly goes on top of the bed. And then you put a comforter or whatever.
And then you put the comforter on top of the top sheet. Yeah.
Yeah, the top sheet's what you pull onto yourself before you pull the comforter. Do you sleep with one?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. When I was single, I was like, I had one, but I barely used it because it was just like, no, this is one more sheet. Except in the winter, I would use it. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things when you live with someone else and they're like, top sheet. But yeah, we use a top sheet.
Right. That is the correct answer. Thank you.
Who says no? Do we have a list of people who said no? Because I'd like to meet no top sheet for Doug.
There is only one exception to that, and it's if I'm in a hotel or motel. That is the only exception.
So you want to pull a foreign sheet over yourself, but you don't want to pull a homegrown sheet over yourself.
Because if I am concerned with a comforter, I could put a duvet over it if I really want to.
Fuck a duvet.
What is a duvet? Is a duvet just a comforter cover?
Yeah, if you want to do that, but I don't usually. And this whole thing stemmed from Greg stayed at my house, and I didn't have a fucking top sheet on the bed, and he was like, "Why the fuck don't you have a top sheet?" I'm like, "Why do you want one? That's really dumb." And then that turned into we went to the Dad Blogger conference together, and he posed it, and we had like this huge fucking battle with people arguing against and for top sheets. And it's like,
that's amazing.
Like it was one of those. I put it on Facebook. Do y'all sleep with a top sheet or not? And it got like 500 responses in like crazy. 20 minutes, and people are like going at it and all this. And, it was and ever since then, we haven't talked about it recently, but it's absolutely one that we really care about. And I didn't even know Doug, but I almost disowned him and his wife.
Oh, wow. What do you do in the summer, Doug?
Not really.
In the summer, I sleep with half my body out from under a comforter and half of it under. That's what I do.
If there was a sheet that could just do both.
Right.
Okay.
Is the only it would be a top sheet, but Doug won't want to listen, so whatever.
No.
No.
It's another sheet that gets dirty that I have to wash. So fuck that.
Right, but you're already washing one sheet. So do you not wash any sheets with? I don't.
Right.
Never, man. Never. I just never. No, I watch.
Tell him, Jay. God damn it.
Throw it out, buy another set. Got it.
Right. Regardless of your questionable pizza knowledge, so you're okay with me, Jay. So.
Thanks, Manny. Wait.
So we got to get it.
What's Manny's favorite cereal?
What is Manny's favorite cereal? Manny?
I don't think we asked him that.
I don't think he has one, but let's have right. Everyone does have one, right? Jay, we'll wait for Manny to respond.
Okay,
I don't think he has one. No. I'm not going anywhere. It's just I just try to wrap at the 2-hour mark. I don't want to keep anybody that long or longer. I can't. Sometimes it's hard to read a guest whether they want to stay or not. So generally, as everybody knows. Plus, I told the boys that I will probably get off after 2 hours so that we can go watch the Batman
Begins.
Begins, yes.
Yeah.
And the youngest one is really, really pumped.
All right. Well, I don't want to keep the youngest one from watching Batman Begins.
Yeah, but he needs to chill on some level. But Man,
got the chill, kid.
he's 16, full energy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So, yeah. Cheers, Rod. What's going on? Give me a call this weekend, Rod. I got something to talk to you about. You already know though. But Rod is awesome. Check out Rod J Beer Ventures.
I follow him.
Yeah, beer guy. So you already know. Damn, I missed Jay being on.
Only someone tweeted about it.
Yeah.
If only you paid attention to social media, Rod.
Right.
Alas.
Rod is moving from his Ohio, northern Kentucky living to East Coast. I don't know if he's gonna like that or not. Yeah, Rod's moving. I don't know if he wants me to say where he's moving to or wherever.
No,
but
I don't say it on the stream. We could talk about that. We could talk
right.
shit. We could talk. We'll talk shit about him when we're done here. That's fine.
Right. Or if he puts it in the comments, I'll just show it and he's cool with it. But he's moving. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's cool with it. So here we go. He's moving to Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, you know it's a shame that the
all good.
Our friends that moved from Baltimore to Atlanta. The shame
Fresh
they are.
berries.
Yeah, that they were there. If they were there with Rod, that would have been a funny fucking show to have them all together. But yeah.
Yeah, and I'm excited for Rod to go to Baltimore because then he can review all those wonderful Baltimore beers. And also, Rod, he probably already knows there's more than a few black breweries in the northern Virginia, Washington, DC, Baltimore area. There's a bunch there actually, and there's a few black distilleries too. So Rod's gonna have access to all those, which is cool. Here in Wisconsin, all I got is Venture Brewery. That's pretty much it. But Rod actually in Ohio, there's 5 black-owned breweries.
Black Frog. There's
Black Frog. We had Ale-Matic. Remember, we had Jared from Ale-Matic on, Doug?
Yeah, we
right
did.
After Barrel and Flow. So there's Ale-Matic, and there's I think, what is this? Is this Cincinnati Brewing Company? Yeah. I'm about to be the new Omar.
Yeah, he's going to do the new Wire reboot.
Finally.
Great. Is there a Wire reboot, or are you just making that up? Great show, though.
I was making it up, and I have never seen that show, nor will I.
Great show.
You've never seen The Wire?
And nor will he.
No, because I don't like mafia.
It's not a mafia.
Organized crime kind of stuff. I don't.
Not an organized crime.
I didn't watch Breaking Bad either. It's like I just don't like that.
That's not mafia though either.
Sopranos?
What's that?
It's about the system. It's about the city of Baltimore as a whole and like how the whole system works. But
okay, maybe that I can get into.
Or doesn't work. Right. Right. How the system works,
but like it's all
right, or doesn't work. Yeah. No, it's fantastic. That's a great one. But Doug is stuck in his ways. What are we gonna do with him?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm fucking 50 years old. Leave me alone. I'm already telling kids to get off my lawn. I'm good.
So you're feeding into what I was saying.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. Manny seems to have left. So is there anything that you want to say? Anything we missed?
You want to promote?
Anything you want to plug? Anything?
No, I just want to. Let's give a.
What's that?
Okay, I'll talk now. It's always the worst part. No, just want to say shout out to my wife Layla Schlack. Big ups in the business crew. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I don't really have anything to plug. Just follow me on Twitter if you want more of this kind of dumb shit, but in shorter sentences. Yeah. Hopefully I'll have something to plug in a few months when I make something happen.
Excellent. And then we'd love to have you back to talk about it.
Show and ramble incessantly.
Oh, it's excellent. Again, we are very, very happy that you joined us, and again, we love to have you back once you get your Well, for lack of a better term, I don't even know you, but once you get your shit together, we can have you back. And go through what you're doing. Doug has written for an e-zine or a magazine. And we will have a magazine creator on next week. So it's right up our alley.
Oh wow.
And we love to make sure that we can at least, especially since you're a beer guy, we clearly have beer people watching us, so it'd be great to help you promote and get your word out on that. Yeah, I know, right? Jay, you're doing some good things, homie, right? But he don't even
Thanks, Rod.
right, but he won't even
Appreciate
acknowledge that shit, so we gotta acknowledge it, Rod. So that's where we are. Jay, I actually it's great. I actually believe we can call you a friend now. We spent 2 hours with you shooting the shit. And that's cool, man. We want to thank you. Y'all can follow Jay down there, right there on Twitter. For me, again, he's a fun follow. Maybe he had, respectfully, he definitely had more profound shit to say before the pandemic. But I think that goes, with all due respect, that goes with everybody. I think the pandemic is what it was, and I'm glad I found you before that. He's also I think he's a valuable member of Black Beer Twitter. So yeah, thanks, Jay. You have a great weekend, and we'll see you in post production if you want to stick around and have a beer with us.
Thank you.
So thank you for again, like we say for every guest. Thank you for making our stream way better than it would be if Doug and I.
Yeah, also.
Yeah, thanks, Jay, man. It's great having you here.
Yeah, and we were. I don't know if you saw the New Year's show, but
you guys are great.
It was just Doug and I, and it was a damn train wreck when it was just Doug and I. So, thanks, Jay.
Yeah,
have a good one, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks, Jay. Take care.
So, Doug, another great guest, another great time. Daniel says, "Cheers, Jay." Jay saw that, I believe, because he's still in our green room with no We got to work on the refreshments in the green room, Doug. We don't have any.
Yeah, we got to put like the M&Ms that are just the green M&Ms. Like we got to do all that kind of stuff,
Oh shit, Jay, you're still there? Hold on, I'm gonna bring you back, bud. We usually do this
beer review.
My pants are still on.
Oh man, we should have waited a little bit.
All right, review your beers, please.
Yes, Jay, tell us what beers you had and which ones you like. Or we review our beers at this moment, so if you want to, that's great.
I love them all because they're all great. I also work for the brewery, so disclaimer. I think I'd probably say the Giddy Up Pils was my favorite, just because it's the easiest drinker and everything else was like over 10%. And Giddy Up Pils. That's my winner for tonight.
Nice.
All right. And then the other one was a barley wine, and what was the other one? Oh, Imperial Stout. You went big on
the other one was a Chipotle.
You went heavy
cinnamon stout.
Cheers, Jay.
All right, Jay. Now we let you go.
Thanks again. Cheers. What's up, Doug? What you got?
Okay, so I am gonna say that that was least favorite's wrong. This was actually super interesting. Just the way they blended the roastiness of the porter and the peppermint together, that really worked well together, surprisingly. And the sour me was next. That was really good. Wasn't sour. And then that really surprised me that the chai held up. So the 15-month-old aged dragon smoke with vanilla and chai. So you had New Glarus.
Yeah, and Barrel Flow. But real quick though, Dragon's Milk never disappoints. It just never does. You can keep it for like 800 years. I mean, it's just like it just stands the test of time. It's just a beautiful beer. It's just a great brewery, and it's a classic. And there's really nothing more you can say. Spotted Cow, everybody knows about this one. Barrel Flow, wonderful. And next week we have another fascinating guest. Week after week, we continue to do it. Jeff Bogle, going to be fun. He's just he's literally on the bottom of the world right now.
Yeah.
In Antarctica or near it, or
yeah.
The man is in an Antarctica, motherfuckers. Antarctica. That one. Not the other Antarctica. That Antarctica.
Not Arctica, Antarctica.
That too. Yeah. And we're going to have fun talking about that. His magazine. He likes soccer. He's the only thing we won't talk about is beer, but we'll talk about root beer. He's not an alcohol drinker, but he likes craft beer, craft soda, root beer. I mean, the man is just all over the place. He's a world traveler. He's a dad
guy.
He's got books. It's just everything's going on with him, and we're just happy that he wants to, just like the rest of y'all who come on the stream, grace us with your presence. So. I want to shout out to my friend Barry Jenkins for our voicing over our intro. We will soon we will have different intros, so if you get here early, you got to see that. If not, that's fine. And so we will see y'all next week, same time, same bad channel. Look at that.